Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to this day 32 of our series, The Power of Five. And this is the month of September, the last month of H1 of 24-25. And I'm sure you guys have had a fabulous 5-month period and you're looking forward to closing the half year on a high. But let me step back and speak about something that I have been hearing far too often nowadays, especially in markets that are not Mumbai and not the metros. The reality is competition is increasing. Customers' demands are increasing. Commitments and loyalty of people are coming down. And in the midst of all of this, we are entrepreneurs who have made a huge commitment in terms of finances, in terms of the careers, in terms of promises made to our customers, and we need to deliver that day in and day out. So what is happening out there is the ecosystem probably is not the most conducive one, and especially after COVID, we have seen how the great resignations and the silent resignations have come to play. And because our entrepreneurs are in that mode where they have lost the 2 years and they now want to make it happen in the next 2-3 years, they are in that fast track mode. And in the midst of all of this, everyone in this world says that the next 10 years is going to be India's decade. Entrepreneurs are getting stuck between the deep valley and the hill. And it's a very thin line that all of us are treading. This is increasing the failure rate of a lot of entrepreneurs. But believe me, ladies and gentlemen and entrepreneurs out there, the ecosystem can be managed. Everything else can be managed. What we need to manage is the most difficult thing to do on this planet, is to manage ourselves. There's so much turmoil of emotions that go on. And at some point in time, we feel that we are the only people in the organization who's contributing, who's putting in that 16, 18 hours a day, 7 days a week. So today I'm going to talk about the 5 reasons why 99% of entrepreneurs fail in business. And these 99% typically fail within the first 5 years. So there are technological advancements that are happening every day. New opportunities are coming up. And the statistics that I mentioned to you never seems to decrease. And it seems so very easy to start a successful business today that compared to a few years back, that people are trying and failing miserably. It is almost as if starting a business is a secret that only a handful of people understand. And the reason that so many people fail can come down to a number of things. But today I'm going to talk about 5 things. And first of them is the business. The business itself. One of the biggest reasons a lot of people fail in the business is they choose to pursue in the first place. What kind of business? At the first glance, many ideas seems to be like winning ideas. However, it takes only a few conversations with your target audience to realize that whatever you're trying to build might not stand the test of time. See, over the past few years and even before that, we have all had those eureka moments where we have thought that we have found the ultimate idea that could flourish into a wildly successful business. And not long after, we realize how wrong our assumptions were and how nobody wants what I'm offering. And this is a common trap that a lot of people are failing into, especially the startups. And over time, you start to learn to understand that what makes a good idea need not always be a good idea. A lot of time, the ideas that seem bad or small are usually the ones that grow into massive successes. Brian Chesky, the co-founder of Airbnb, was laughed upon by Sam Altman, the president of the world's largest startup accelerator, Y Combinator, when he learned of his idea. And he asked this question: who would pay to rent out someone else's couch? Years later, Airbnb is one of the most successful companies around the world, with rooms available to rent in almost 200 countries. And in general, you will never understand whether an idea is good or bad, and that's up to the market for the market to decide, which means go out and do some amount of market research. That's why many entrepreneurs suggest that you should talk to your audience all the time to make sure you're building something they truly want. The issue people often run into building a business they want and not a business the audience wants. No matter how you try to market that business with no demand, you will not see any traction. It's okay if it just means you haven't reached the product market fit as yet. A lot of businesses start like this, but finally pivot into successful businesses. So once you have the business idea, the product market fit in place, the second reason why a lot of businesses or entrepreneurs fail is the mindset. And over the last 5 years, I've learned, me as an example, with personal examples, over the past 5 years, I have learned that there is nothing more toxic than our own mindset, my mindset. You can have all the knowledge in the world, you can have all the experience in the world, but if you don't have the right mindset, failure is around the corner. Our mindsets have the ability to turn us against ourselves. There will be a lot of negative thoughts, a lot of negative self-talks. These are designed to protect us from what we don't know, and so they make it extremely hard to break free from the comfort zones. There's so much to speak about when it comes to mindset. However, there are some of the biggest concerns why entrepreneurs truly fail, and one of them is negative thinking. Our minds are especially good at triggering negative self-talk. One small failure can lead to a never-ending cycle of a negative self-talk. Our minds are great at telling us we are not good enough, that we are not the people who should be in the business of business. They're great at bringing back old memories to throw salt on the wound. A lot of time when I experience small failures, I start to think back to when my family members made fun of me when I gave up that huge career. And the only thing I remember was my family asking me, why do you have to do this when we have such a comfortable life? A lot of people don't try to stop this negative self-talk because they don't know the detrimental effect it has. Number two within the mindset is trying to being a perfectionist. It's not ready to launch. Some features are still missing. We still need to add XYZ to our site. We still need to get those people on our side. Entrepreneurship and perfectionisms are two things that don't go well together. In business, there are a lot of factors out of your control, factors we can't change. So aiming for perfection is pointless. It's always impossible to aim for perfection in business. So any perfectionist is essentially finding a losing battle. The attitude carried into entrepreneurship, and it can carry itself the same way like it did in school, when we were always told that you're not good enough if you're not number one in the class. Ladies and gentlemen, long story short, caring for others, what others think, is pointless. It took me such a good long time to get over the fact, and it's still taking time to get over the fact, that people will always have their own opinions. However, I would like to think about what others think of me if they see my content online. Would they laugh? It's safe to say I've come a long way since 2020, but I'm still learning. However, for a lot of people, this is something they struggle to cope with and will hold them back until they just learn to say the four-letter word. Number 3, the imposter syndrome. I always feel that we are the biggest imposters running a consulting company. Here we are, a group of coaches trying to convince business owners and older individuals that we can help them make more money. Who did we think we are? The imposter feeling fed into my lack of self-belief. Every message that I sent, every sales call I went into, all felt like a joke because I didn't believe I could really do it, what I was promising to them. To succeed in this business, you need to cultivate the right mindset, the mindset of a winner, the growth mindset. Give yourself time to grow, room to learn new things that you will learn to be successful. Start to believe that you're successful even before you feel real success. Number 3, fears. Every single day, I wake up to do something that we dreaded. Every prospect that I reached out to, my mind would flick into the different possibilities that would occur. What would they say? What would they think? What if they don't want me to message them? Whenever we miraculously managed to get a sales call booked, I would spend the entire time drowning in the thoughts of my own minds. The build up to the call was the most terrifying thing. My heart was beating like I was in a cage with an angry bull. I tried to fight those fears because everyone talks about how you need to overcome things you don't like to be successful, and all that is the big letter B word. Overcoming fear is not as easy as people make it out to be. It takes years of dedication, years of practice. Talking to strangers would immediately result in a pool of sweat. For many of us, it happens. However, these can be overcome. The one thing that so many entrepreneurs fear is the one thing that inevitably run into because they're afraid of. It's like walking on eggshells because you overanalyze every step you take and every move you make. Think about a death run. There's path littered with traps. Number 4, the why and the end goal. Most entrepreneurs are too much in the business. As an entrepreneur, as a business coach, I always keep on telling my prospects, my leads, my clients, that whatever time you're committing to the workplace, it could be 8 hours, it could be 12 hours, it could be 16 hours. I am not getting into a judgment. 1/3 of the day, at least, if not 1/3, at least 1/4 of the time, you should be focusing upon your end goal. Where do you want to be in the next 5 years? How about the next 10 years? Why would you want to achieve that success? What would change in your life if you are successful? These are 3 questions that 90% of my entrepreneur friends cannot give an answer to. And it is this very reason why a staggering number of entrepreneurs are failing in business. Most entrepreneurs don't have a goal or a vision in mind. They simply have a number that they hopefully want to make at some point. And without a vision, you're essentially walking into the woods blindfolded. You're driving a car without a GPS. You're walking and bumping into barriers, each time slowing you down more and more until you eventually give up. To ensure you're successful, you need to have a goal in mind, something that you're aiming for, and a better future that you want to create. Making $1 million or 10 crore rupees isn't a vision, it's a financial goal. We have spoken about creating vision boards in the past. You can always come back to me and ask, how do you build your vision board? But build a vision board yourself. And in order to get your end goal, in order to see your vision becoming to a fruition, you need to have a powerful why to guide you along the way. While 90% of entrepreneurs give up at the first sign of failure, you will be the one who gets up and keeps going because you have a powerful why that gets you back up on your feet to fight another day. When you're sitting in bed contemplating whether or not you should get up, your why should be the reason why you should spring up out of bed. Your why gives you a reason to get up. It gives you a reason not to tap out after enduring blow after blow. Most entrepreneurs focus on their own greed and call it the why, and that is not the why. Making money is not the why. And to build a strong why, I strongly recommend read the book Start with Why by Simon Sinek. And finally, number 5, procrastination. Most people are unaware that procrastination often derives from a fear of failure, where the tasks are often delayed through self-preservation. The entrepreneurs and business owners who understand how procrastination prevents success are the ones that perceive time as a valuable asset. An excellent example is when you're faced with a decision to fire an underperforming staff member. From a business perspective, you know it's the right decision, but from an emotional perspective, you procrastinate to put the pain off to and potentially upsetting someone else. And the longer you procrastinate, however, the longer underperforming staff member remains in your business, giving a negative impact for a longer run and driving your cash flows. When a lot of entrepreneurs start a new business, they desperately underestimate the value of the product or service. Although they may not like the sound of it, it quickly becomes one which prevents growth and scale up. One of the books I highly recommend for all business owners and entrepreneurs to read is called The E-Myth by Michael Gerber. Why? It helps you to understand that a lot of business owners create a new company after experiencing success as a practitioner. That means they're stuck working in the business, doing the work as opposed to working on it. And this procrastination of moving from the on into the on stops you from achieving those bigger goals. Ladies and gentlemen, you have taken that step, moving up away from a comfort zone to build a business of your choice. And let us, all of us out there, make a pledge that we will work on our mindset and we will not allow our mindset to be the reason for the failures. We do not want to be part of the 97% of the crowd of entrepreneurs who fail in business. And by focusing on these 5 elements, you can avoid being one. Thank you so much for being with me. This has been an emotional period for all of us. We are coming to the end of first 6 months, and a lot of us out there are feeling that we have not achieved what we should have achieved. But like I told somebody in Ahmedabad on the Friday, we are not racing with anybody. We are only in a self race with ourselves. And by working on these 5 areas, you are destined to become a great entrepreneur. Take care of yourself. Have a great Monday. Have a great week, because this week culminates into what we call the Ganesh Chaturthi. Let the Saturday be a new beginning for all of us. And a new beginning is not in your business. New beginning is not in finance goals. New beginning in how to manage my mind better. Till next Monday, same place, same time. I shall see you on the other side. Till then, have a great Monday and a great week.